welcome back to Kaijutopia. I am Tom, and today is a VFX stream, a good old-fashioned stream of watching me, Tom, VFX extraordinaire, master stop-motion maker, and the most powerful Godzilla YouTuber of all time. You heard that correctly. Okay, so we're like already hitting the ground running here. As you can see, I'm in the midst of a project. I already have Master Chief, and soon he's going to be accompanied by a team of extraordinary characters. And then we can jump to Godzilla. I don't want to like just leave this project, like this part at least as it is. It's so close to being complete. So you get to watch me finish, and you get to have a really sneak peek of what I think is one of the best moments in this entire video. But right now, I got my super comp going. I'm adding some fog and shadow cast to Spartan 117. In this scene, Godzilla has already risen out of the water, right? And he's now giving these group of little tiny humans slash dragon a kind of a you done goofed kind of look. He's looking down at them right now, and he's very annoyed. And what do this team do? They like get ready to rock and roll. Master Chief has his assault rifle. He's gonna point it up at Godzilla. I got Cyclops right here, leader of the X-Men. He's about to power up his optic blast. Soon you're gonna see Batman and Charizard. Charizard even takes flight. If anyone's interested in seeing how I do the tail effect, I think I've really gotten way better at doing tails, because usually I do the stop motion of those separately, and to be honest, usually in this case I don't really do any stop motion just for Charizard's tail. I do a lot of stop motion for Charizard, of course, but the tail, it's an extra component that kind of makes things a bit difficult, so I do that separately, and I found a way to really make the movement for it look fluid, look like it's animated. So I'm really proud of that. I could show that once we get to Charizard here. First things first, we got Cyclops looking awesome in his leather jacket. Now I'm just trying to add some shadow casting here. They're out in the middle of the ocean. There's a lot of fog. Godzilla's towering over them like some sort of atomic beast. Probably gonna lead to a thermonuclear annihilation, but the point is, like, these heroes are not giving up. They're ready to stand up to Godzilla, and Godzilla, he's gonna respect them, or he's gonna shoot them with atomic fire, and just that's how the video ends, and they all you know, become quickly unalived and all that. So we'll find out. Did I just spoil the movie? You'll see. Got Batman here, and you know, he just has a batarang. Nothing too fancy, right? Now he can call in a whole lot. Like, Batman is known for being prep master, right? I mean, sure, his fans are like, yeah, he probably would lose against almost anyone, but with prep, Batman could take on anyone. Like Doctor Doom, Thanos, Batman can beat any single character ever with prep. And of course, when I say his fans usually admit that he like would lose against almost anyone, like on this team, for example, I kid. Batman fans are fanatics, and they probably would say Batman could take them all on even without prep. That's right. We went that far. Or not far enough, if you ask us. My apologies. Hey, how's everyone doing today? You guys doing okay? I could have, I should have started with that, like asking how everyone's doing, but you know, I'm like in the throes of super editing mode here. I got like so much to do. Today is very busy, right? And I really want to like, I just want to like get things done. See if I can move myself over slightly. This should be okay, right? I don't know. There's a delay. I'm trying to check and see how I look, how you guys see me, and I was just trying to move my window of me over because I noticed like, oh, I'm being blocked by my little, I forget what it's called. It's something fancy YouTube has, a watermark, I think, that shows this is a Kaijutopia production. So totally baller. Alright, so now we're adding some shadows to Batman. Batman is pretty well accustomed to being in the shadows, being the Dark Knight of Gotham and all. Oh, maybe that was a bit much. Always remember to hit that save button. Fellow VFX artists, where you at? You guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, so almost any project you're working on, especially, you know, computer-based, I mean, you gotta hit that save button. You know, even if it's not on the computer, you gotta find a save button. It's like the secret to succeeding in life is finding that save button. It's like a starting point, you know? If life were a video game, that kind of stuff. Oh, I mean, I kind of feel like I should show you guys a lot more for this project here. There's like a whole lot going on. But at the same time, I kind of feel like you guys are all here for Godzilla, right? You want me to get straight to the big G. But, man, maybe I'll just like share a cool little VFX breakdown of this later on. Anybody have any ideas? Just trying to like make sure everyone has some input. Okay, I'm adding some glow effects here. Don't need to go too much, but Cyclops has his optic blast ready to fire. Cyclops is pretty powerful. X-Men characters are generally pretty up there, especially when you get into the Omega level tier. Cyclops, last I checked, he's not an Omega level mutant, but he does happen to possess an extremely powerful optic blast that, you know, can trivially like punch holes through mountains and such. I think he's even like, when fully unleashed, can take down like a whole army of mutant hunting sentinels. Sentinels are like these giant robots. Now, would that do anything to Godzilla? No, not a thing. Godzilla's gonna be like, excuse you? And just you wait. I'm pretty sure Cyclops would immediately apologize. But let's get Charizard here. Charizard is like the best Pokemon of them all. This is not really much of a debate, right? I mean, Charizard's clearly the best of the best. Alright, so we got Charizard right here. Sorry, I had to stretch. We got Charizard. I already added the flame effect here, his fire tail is pretty nifty. We could just make that a nice glow effect. Maybe turn up the heat a little bit more on that. I really loved how this is all turning out. I've been working on it for like the past couple days, and oh my yay, like it's been surreal. It's a lot of fun. Geez, let me know if the background noise. You know what? I'm just gonna close it right now. I got my window open. I'm so distracted by everything. See, I don't even usually I have like Godzilla up in the background. I got all the fancy lights going and stuff, but I'm like, no, we're here to work. Misha Pro 2, hello, good to see you. Cloud9, you do some great stop motions, bro. You definitely have some of the best VFX on YouTube. Hope you continue Batman versus Godzilla. Cloud, that made my day. Thank you so much for saying that. Thank you for being here. Godzilla vs. Batman is most certainly a project I am extremely proud of. And the best part is, it's not over yet. We got more going. Not just this project. This project has nothing to do with the Godzilla Batman movie series that I've been working on for the past couple years. But I'm really happy to know that you love it, and I appreciate your compliments. I do the best I can. Jake Zilla, good to see you. It's been a while, hasn't it? Hope life is treating you all very nicely. Okay, so Charizard needs some shade here, some shadows. So this is not a tutorial stream, so I'm not going to be able to like truly stop and show every little thing. But on that note, I'm going to stop and show you every little thing. At least on Charizard. Let's take a break from Super Comp for a second. I'm excited about this. Let's do it. Okay, so right here, we got Charizard in all his winged glory, right? Now, you'll notice this comp titled Pokemon, left corner, I'm moving my mouse here. This is important because when I did all the stop motion initially, and I'll click here to show you the full project, there's a lot here. There's like so many different separate sources. You'll notice he's right here, center of the screen, full body. That comes into play because earlier, well, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Later, I'm gonna have him move over to the right side just so that he's angled up with everyone nice and easy. You'll see the ensemble here probably in several minutes, but it's important that when you start off getting all your green stop motion work here, I said green because it's a green screen, and just little frame by frame, you could see Charizard moving, you could see his wings moving, and right about here I have him fly up in the air. You'll notice I don't have his tail moving in this area. That's important because I have his tail as a separate comp and it's moving behind Charizard, but I can't do that right now because there's a green screen in the background. I have to cut around that. I have to remove the little plastic platform here as well. I just mask that all out. So let's move this part over here and we go to Charizard. You see the mask I cut out around his feet, but the reason why in this initial comp here, the one that started it all, we got his full body, we see everything, so that makes it easier so that when I do move him to the right side of the screen and then I have him take off like so, I don't have his feet cut out. Because if I just started, like if I go back to the original comp here and I take this and I move him down right here. And then when I separate that and go back to the other comp, it's going to look like his feet have been cut off. So I got to start, I have a whole process behind this. And now we have his tail here, and his tail is its own thing. This is where things get very interesting. So when I started adding the puppet tool, you can see it up in the corner right here. It's called a puppet position tool, and with it, whatever area that you put the puppet pins on, you can manipulate it like so. So I'm gonna come close here for a second. Watch this. What? And if you play around with it for a bit, you can actually simulate his tail moving in a fluid-like way that even on my best day, I can't really emulate through the stop motion process. So you have a combination of stop motion and just true like computer effect work going on here. Alright, so we can see his tail moving. This is just going back and forth here, back and forth. And I don't really need to like go all out here either, because he's taking flight. That's the point. So when we come back here, and I made sure to parent his tail to the main body, he takes off, we can see his tail here, and then he goes up into the sky. And you might be like, wait, what about the flame, right? Charizard has a flame at the end of his tail. I hear ya. That's all saved in a separate comp. I made sure to even copy everything that you see here into its own comp, so that when that the fire tail, here, I'll click right here, and then you take away the visibility over here on the left. I have my mouse going. Take away the visibility so you don't have a repeat, and you just have the fire tail right here. And I had to go through, I changed the position and rotation of the fire tail here, but I also made sure to make align it with wherever the pen tools are placed exactly. That way it's exact, it's approximate. And now you just see the fire tail go up, but then we go back to the main thing, and we're ready to keep magic coming. Okay, you just saw the Fullmetal Alchemist there for a brief second, but we'll get there. I'm gonna keep going. Jakezilla says, do you have a Hiya Toys Godzilla figure? Yes, I do. I have the base with the, what's it called? It's like an enhanced version, but I'm waiting on 2 new ones coming from the Hiya toy line. Regular Godzilla and then Evolved Godzilla, but who knows how long it's going to be before we get that. But yeah, I love me the Hiya toys. The Hiya Godzilla toy line, phenomenal. Kind of hard to work with when you're like a stop motion artist like me, but you can find ways to make it work. I mean, speaking of the Hiya toy, I actually do use the King of the Monsters 2019 design from Hiya in this here production, in this little project that I'm working on. Now, I don't know. Gosh, I thought for sure maybe I'd be done by now and I could just switch to starting from scratch and you could see the whole thing. But, you know, we're gonna take a little bit longer here just to make sure everything is just nice. Holy moly, okay. All right. Fire mouth too. I gotta get that effect going. Charizard, come back. Not ready for you to take off just yet. There he is. Does the splashback come up again? Oh, we're close. It's right about there. Alright. And we all know this is going to take a long time to render. Alright, let's bring on the Fullmetal Alchemist. Edward Elric, one of my all-time favorite characters from one of my all-time favorite series, both the manga and the two animes. The original from the early 2000s, 2003 I think it came out. Man, I've been a big fan of Fullmetal Alchemist for, well, most of my life, it feels like. That might be an exaggeration, but I love this series, I love this character, and I've been waiting to just have him cross over with Godzilla, my favorite character. Okay, so if you ever see anything that I'm doing that confuses you, or you're wondering, what's that? What are you doing there? Tom, you're moving too fast. Just leave a comment, let me know. Hey, slow things down, Tom. I'd like to know what you're doing. Alright, let's see what we got. Okay. Now we're adding some haze right here in the front. Sworn we had haze over. Oh, wait a minute, I made a mistake. Just a second. Haze is supposed to be like a screen, so I'm going to change that. There it is. Alright. Yeah, I was like, wait, something's not adding up here. So, the best part here is that Edward Elric, is capable of transmutation. He uses, in his show, alchemy is kind of more, well, wizardry kind of magic stuff, even though he would call it a science. Sure, you have to have a pretty good scientific understanding on compositions, breaking matter down, and recreating it. But, like, I mean, that's the whole point of matter. Matter can be neither made nor destroyed, just rewritten. But, you know, it's pretty much magic. At least for us, it's magic. And what he can do, since he has something called Automail, it's this robotic arm, he can transmute that into a weapon, which is what we see him do here. I'm just going to add a cool little glowy effect to make it look really nice and cool. That's a bit too bright though, so we don't want that. So with this, I mean, Ed, he's looking up at Godzilla, and what does Ed do? He he makes a little blade. It's kind of like, okay, Ed, you could have made It could have been 200 feet bigger and it still wouldn't really be much of a threat to Godzilla, but it's still good effort, buddy. Good effort. I gotta check to make sure these effects are layered correctly, because I've done this before and sometimes they don't. When he transmutes, I had a cool little effect here, like a wave of energy, and then I add these electrical bolts of energy. Seems to be going well. And you can see his blade actually growing, like he literally just pops it right out, and I'm really proud of this effect as well. Since I want to get to Godzilla here soon, we won't stay too much longer, but this turned out great. I'm pretty happy, all things considered. This is actually when I storyboarded this project a long time ago, it feels like almost another lifetime now. Yeah, this was the scene, this is the shot that, as a VFX artist, I got most excited about. I usually do kaiju-based stop motion. I mean, the channel is Kaijutopia. Totally awesome. Love Godzilla. Gonna be doing kaiju content for as long as I can. But I also love other characters, other franchises. Halo, big fan. Halo 3 is still the best game, although Halo Reach is right up there. Batman, one of my favorite characters, although Superman is my #1 superhero. Sorry, not sorry. Cyclops, my favorite X-Men from Marvel. Edward Elric, I already talked about. Fullmetal Alchemist, sang it nothing but praise. Charizard, my favorite Pokemon. Pokemon's just awesome, so it's nice to have this sort of crossover happening. And they're, well, most of them anyway, except Charizard, they're human. And it's such a nice little change of pace to be able to change things, go from the human perspective to, well, you know, go from human to big giant monster. Alright, so we're pretty much finished here. I just added some lens flare glowing effects too. And in a moment we are gonna start Bring On Godzilla. Alright, so all this, before I leave, here's Fullmetal Alchemist. The blade is separate. I didn't actually attach it during the stop motion process, but here you go. Oh, let's see if I can move that up again. Alright. Should be able to see the blade here. Uses his alchemy, and you can even see his hand just bringing it up. You can even see that his hand turns into a clenched fist. Love it. Love it, love it. Alright, we're already 30 minutes in. The next thing is going to be a doozy. I'm going to take a moment. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to be back in maybe a few minutes. Take a quick break, get some maybe coffee, and then when I come back, we're going to begin. But man, just look at this. Look at that. Alright, because I'm so nice, I'm gonna let this render. I'm gonna leave you guys at least something cool to look at, alright? I'm not sure if it's rendering. Oh man. Alright, well, I assume it's gonna do it, but at the very least, here you go, you get something fancy to look at. Alright, I'll be right back. man. Wow. Look at that. It turned out pretty good, didn't it? Only thing I want to change here. Just making sure the blur is a little bit blurrier. All right. Speeve, hello. Speeve or Beeve, Speeve. I think I got it right the first time. Hello, how are you? Got my Space Godzilla coffee. Made from true cosmic forces beyond our comprehension. Brewed from the finest. Crystallic. I don't know. I thought I was onto something there, but you know what? I'm not here. Nobody comes to Kaijutopia to be entertained by my sense of humor. Instead, it's quite the opposite. We're all here to watch the best stop motion this side of, I don't know, Godzilla YouTube. I mean, I kid. There are so many better there's so many better stop motion artists out there. Daikaiju Legends, if you haven't seen Jake's stuff, amazing guy. The Lukey MC, awesome. Truly a Chad amongst Godzilla fans. His recent one, Shin Godzilla versus Shin Ultraman. Chef's kiss, guys. Just incredible stuff. Asolza Productions. I don't think he's made anything recently, but always incredible to go back and watch some of his earlier stuff. Stomp Movies, another amazing stop motion artist out there. I mean, I just love the stop motion artist community. Everyone's super supportive, and I owe these guys a lot. They pioneered all this. I mean, I'm just doing what I enjoy, but man, they really got the ball rolling, I think. All right, so for this shot, trying to find the right file before I move it over here. There it is. We're gonna have the big G move in. All the characters you just saw, Charizard, Ed, Batman, Master Chief, Cyclops, they're all just chilling on top of a submarine. After all, this is a sort of tribute to one of the best scenes from Godzilla King of the Monsters. What I'm going to do here, since I shot this all in 4K, this part is not stop motion. Godzilla is not in stop motion. However, the other characters might be. Maybe just a tad. Let me change this to the right VFX number. Okay, so the reason why I shot this in 4K is because when I changed the resolution here to just 1920 1080, I can maintain that strong video resolution, so everything looks like it's in way better detail. And right here, I got the shot that I want. And we might just leave it at that. Change the rotation so it looks like Godzilla is actually staring down at these guys. I'm gonna know more once I get everything else where I need it to be, but yeah, more or less this is kind of what I'm going for. Smeeve says, I got a new PC, but I can't get it turned on. Oh no! Oh, what kind of new PC did you get? Sorry to hear that. This is the 6C, so now I'm looking for my submarine. I'm gonna bring that up right now, just because I need a good comparison. This is what we're gonna go for here. Oh no, I had it just right the way I wanted to. There. Yeah, this the submarine, I'm gonna make it a freeze frame. We don't need the submarine to move. I know it's floating on water. I can add a camera effect, camera shake effect to that all later. It's a custom PC that was given to me by my uncle. Interesting. Did your uncle by any chance say that there were any problems? Like, I'd imagine when he gave it to you, it wasn't because he knew it was broken. Alright, so I'm going to take the submarine. I'm going to remove the green screen. I got to bring my resolution to full so it's easier to get rid of everything that might be a problem. I do the best I can with my green screen lighting. Sometimes I get just everything just right, that most of the spill here isn't too much of an issue, but man, it's very far from being able to do this all professionally, you know, in a I kid. I mean, what makes you a professional? Is it that what you're doing you're getting paid to do? If so, I've already done that. I've already been paid for doing this, so does that make me a professional? Must investigate this further. And as always, I'm going to add a little camera lens blur effect here to my submarine, so it does not draw too much attention. I'm going to bring Godzilla back here. He said he heard a crack, but he thought it was the monitor that might have broke, but it's doing fine. That's strange, yeah. Yeah, I would have just been Googling, hey, my computer custom built isn't working. Maybe find out more specs on your custom computer that you've inherited. Maybe there's maybe there's something we're missing, some specific piece of information. Alright, so we're gonna take this away. We got the big G here, the G-Man. It's finally shown up in the stream. I mean, the stream is called Godzilla Rises VFX stream, and now here we are, finally doing some Godzilla stuff, but you guys know me, I get a little carried away. I can't leave the... If I'm already, like, literally working on something, I can't just, like, leave it, right? I gotta go all in. Got some green screen spill here. Now what I can do is consider slowing Godzilla's movements down just a tad. Oh wait, I wasn't even clicking on Godzilla there. Oh, that's a little embarrassing. Alright, let's see if I can stretch him a bit. Let's make things less hard on my computer here. I'll try that out, thanks. Yes, Speeve, I'm sorry I don't really have much, you know, in a way of pretty good feedback. Yeah, these sort of, there could be just a number of issues that's causing it. And of course, I don't want to just say, hey, yeah, you're going to have to take it in. I have no idea. I don't even know where to bring a custom computer. Maybe find out which company is responsible for, you know, making it, for building it. See if you can reach them and just make sure you have some of the right information available. But good luck. Hope things work out. Okay, all of this will help so much more once we bring in some much needed background. But I need to find another VFX asset first. There's a little rain here. Charizard's not going to be happy with me about that, but he's going to have to cope. Alright, so what I want to bring in right now, I'm just trying to find the right... They're out at sea, so kind of deciding, should I just go all over here and just add it right here? Yeah, I think this part's fine. Just need a pretty good big sky to take up the background. Okay. I think I have what I'm looking for. Says it's in 4K, it's not, but that's fine. Boost it up. Don't need it to I'm just trying to preemptively find everything that I think I'm gonna need before I bring in, you know, all the characters, have them all assembled again on the submarine, looking up at Godzilla as if, you know, this is the end. It kind of is. Yeah, with smoke and fog effects, normally if you're dealing with just primarily human characters and you're at the human level, like a street level view, first person perspective almost, you know, you don't have to change much for your fog movements. But if you have something like Godzilla on screen, you're gonna want the fog to move a lot slower, because everything, when you're looking at Godzilla from a greater distance, elements like smoke, fire, it would be, or even explosions, it would move a lot, it would appear to move a lot slower from our perspective. Okay. All right, doing pretty decent here. And of course, one thing that I'm going to be doing throughout here is jump back and forth from... I don't think I'm going to be going in order, so you might see me bring up one character here in a moment, and then I might just jump to some other effect, just so I don't forget, because I know I'm not going to forget bringing on the heroes and having them, you know, staring up defiantly at the king of the monsters. Not going to forget that. But there are some things that I might forget. I said earlier that there's going to be some rain. We'll drop that in. This is distant rain. As you can see, there's a lot of it, and I want things to be fairly consistent with that last shot we just saw. And I don't want it to look like it's raining terribly hard one moment and then not at all the next. Besides, this is more misty rain. It's kind of what I'm going for. Oh, man. It's not like you guys are like squinting, probably trying to see like what the heck are you working on? Let me make that bigger so everyone can see what I'm doing. I know I'm such a hack. Not a true VFX artist. And there is one other thing that I'm going to do. A couple things. Oh, jeez. That I want to do. That I'm taking certain creative liberties, so not everything you see I'm doing here comes directly from like the movie. I'm not going to copy every single thing. I'm adding my own unique touch. Here, gonna bring in some cool lightning effects. Some cool lens flashes for that. And since I got lightning going on, we're gonna have let's change a couple things just so. We could just save that for now. Some thunder, lightning flashes in the background. Let's take a better look at what we got here. Godzilla looks majestic, as always. But I do want a little bit of blur to him. Later I might add some water effects, things like some water dripping down the side of his body. I gotta be careful with that because, like I said earlier, with Godzilla, the elements are moving a lot slower from our perspective. Alright, color correction, bring some curves so I can darken him a little bit. Likewise, the submarine can get a little darker too. All right. All right, let's go in and find our heroes and start bringing them in one by one. Got the Master Chief. Just have as much as we can of his full body right here as we can get. Later I'll shrink him down. Some of these characters have, you know, capes and clothes, so I'll be adding some movement to those separately so there's more motion. Let's cut out the Master Chief here. Why we're still in high resolution so I can see which areas to cut out. I understand there's such things as like rotoscoping. There are new ways, not really new, but some recent developments in terms of making it easier to cut some characters out. I prefer just using my trusty pen tool here. I don't mind putting in the extra work because I think it's, well, quality over quantity, right? I'm going to, by doing this, I'm all but assuring that I'm going to meet my pretty high standard. And I know it's going to work out pretty good. Did I sound like super arrogant then when I'm like, I know I'm going to meet my pretty high standard? I mean, It's the truth, but at the same time, I can see why some people might think like, really, dude, you're playing with toys. Not to jab myself or any fellow toy collectors slash you know, stop motion artists out there, but it's good to have, you know, it's good to make fun of yourself every now and then. It's all good. Alright, let's shrink this. Oh yeah, before I shrink him down, you'll notice the Master Chief is in front of a blue screen instead of a green screen. That's because the Master Chief has green armor. If I took that away, he would disappear. But with the blue screen, it makes it so much easier to make sure you can maintain his classic look. So go over to Spill Killer, I enable it, change the color mode to blue. If I left it on green, it would be just Master Chief in brown armor. Looks pretty awesome, but... Oh, what would happen if I clicked red? Anything? Oh, he goes back to even... He goes way greener. Okay. Let's take care of the mats here. Alright, looking pretty good. Alright, so we're going to shrink the Chief down. Before I do that, I want to take a look at what I've done before, just so I have good comparisons here. I'll bring this up so everybody can see it. This is what I've done before. Godzilla coming up out of the water. Looks pretty awesome. You can see the waves crashing, rolling off his body. And he's going to look over and see them. But I'm more paying attention to where the Chief is. All that continuity jazz. You don't want him too small or like to make it super accurate because, well, I still want you guys to be able to see him, you know? I think this part's gonna work. Sure he's doesn't have a foot awkwardly up in the air. And eventually I'll have all the heroes in one comp. They're gonna share the same comp, so then I can like do something like adding a reflection because their ensemble, they're reflecting off the surface of the submarine. They have they might be casting shadows and all that cool stuff. It's just easier to do that all in one big group. All right, so got the Master Chief there. Charizard's gonna be the hardest, so I'll probably just do him last because he's flying now in this shot. Okay, so I'll do Batman. Batman's fun. He's gonna have his wings out and everything. Batman might actually have some stop motion to him as well. Nope. I didn't do stop motion for him. That's fine. Now, you might be wondering, man, why do you have his cape out like that? Because if this is all one still image, it's going to look weird with him just standing there. And honestly, it might have been something I would have done several years ago and not really notice. Just, you know, I might just be like, oh, it looks really cool. But then people would fairly ask, like, why isn't the cape moving? Why isn't it, like, bellowing? I mean, you're out at sea. You're on a submarine. Not just in it. You're standing on top of a submarine out at sea. Unless the wind, like, stopped picking up. And if it's not windy, your cape should not be like that. So I'm going to add some cool effects here in just a moment to take care of that. But first, we need to cut them out a bit. You don't have to be perfect, like, and concise with, you know, your masking when your character's at such a long distance, you know? This is what we would call an extreme wide shot. Which means, you know, your character, since you have Godzilla in the mix, your human characters are going to be really hard to see. So you don't have to, like, make sure everything is so perfect and precise when it comes to masking out. Like here, I'm masking out around his feet because even though I have a green screen remover, I'm not going to remove the white background, or not background, the platform he's on, which I have there for a number of reasons. It can actually move if I wanted him to, like, do a full 360. I've done stuff like that before. It's really cool. The platform is really handy, but at the same time, I just like the fact that it can reflect the light pretty well up in certain areas, and that can help out like a ton. Alright, so let's get Batman's green screen taken care of. He looks so awesome. Look at Batman. He's now... Okay, Batman is now kaiju size. Let's take a look at this. Look at him. He's such a... Oops. I ruined it. Okay, look at him. He's such a beast. Superman, you got nothing on Batman. Even Godzilla's bowing his head in respect to the Dark Knight. Such a goof. I love it. Let's get rid of this green screen and we could actually take a funny shot of this. It would look funny. I love it. Cutting out the green. That didn't help. Batman look a little darker. He is supposed to be the Dark Knight. It's not the right thing to do. I am losing my mind. Where did I go? There we go. That's about right. Oh, before I... So funny. Almost compelled to just keep things like this. Yeah, I'm gonna save a picture of this part. That's funny. Giant Batman. I could just take a quick picture, a snapshot of this, just this frame. Alright. Back to work. No more playing around. How dare I? Oh, before I do that, see, I keep forgetting stuff. It's like one of those days. Alright, so how am I gonna, like, do the whole, you know, having his cape bellowing in the wind? There are a number of ways, but usually for this I do something called distort mesh warp. Okay, got it. First try. It's pretty handy. And what I'm essentially gonna do here is just start the distortion mesh here at the very beginning. Go to a certain point in the timeline that's always subject to change. And I gotta be careful, like, how many of these we start with. So I don't want to move something when I don't need to. That might be more pliable here. No. There we go. I can fix it. Okay. So now his cape is making the movements. The only question is, like, is it fast enough? And I feel like here would be a safer bet. right, we have a pretty good bellowing cape here. Once again, using mesh warp. You can find it when you go to the very top and click Effect and under Distort. Assuming, of course, you're using Adobe After Effects. Maybe you're using something else. But that is how I do it. Who's next? Cyclops, get on in here. Come here, you. Careful about humming songs that might have, might have copyright strike. Man, can't be too careful. Alright, so we're getting Cyclops here ready. Just getting him prepared. Cyclops recently had such a fantastic run on X-Men 97. One of my favorite animated shows growing up. Made a massive epic return over on Disney Plus. It's amazing. I mean, obviously, whenever you talk about anything Marvel, it almost seems like a prerequisite for me to bring up the fact that, one, yeah, I love the MCU big time. I love the earlier Marvel projects too, but yeah, I think the MCU will make a massive comeback here shortly with Deadpool and Wolverine. I know the MCU feels like it's been in a downward spiral for a while now. I don't think it's nearly that bad. I think most of what we've gotten is still fairly good quality stuff, but compared to what's come before, yeah, it's definitely it's taken a couple hits. Mittens Cat Underlord, hello. Jeez, how long have you been here? I hope you didn't say hello like 20 minutes ago and I just didn't notice. How you been? Do you have any new projects you're working on? But Anyway, yeah, so Cyclops is my favorite X-Men character. Growing up, I just love the fact that even though like his mutant gift is pretty cool, it's absolutely like a curse. He needs these protective ruby quartz visors. Otherwise, his optic blast, which due to a trauma, some physical sort of accident that happened to him when he was a child, Cyclops cannot control his optic beams. So if he didn't have this protective visor on and he had his eyes open, he'd be like just constantly blasting everything and everyone around him. But that's what he's the kind. What I like about him is he's the kind of guy who's super adaptive. He took his curse and used it to, I'd say, become one of the most disciplined characters in Marvel. You're looking at a born leader, someone who's right up there with Captain America. Easily, in fact. And Cyclops has been through a lot for the past 10, 15 years. Now he has to go up against Godzilla. Poor guy cannot catch a break. Love this computer chair, but after a while when I'm sitting on it, it starts slowly sinking. Alright, let's bring on Fullmetal, and then we can do Charizard last. Now, Fullmetal will require a couple pieces, I believe. He too will require some wardrobe changes. All that in good time. Don't forget the save button. It's what we do. Alright, so I added a couple things here just in case. Funny, crazed look Ed might have. But I don't think it's necessary. What is necessary though is getting his awesome blade. I don't mean the Vampire Hunter blade, although that would be, can't go wrong with Blade. The very first movie, the first two movies starring Wesley Snipes, they rank as some of the best Marvel, just Marvel superhero endeavors I've seen. Like, just the opening sequence to Blade is just fantastic. You guys know what I'm talking about. I mean, obviously. It's okay if you don't. You're about to remedy this situation if you don't know what I'm talking about. Go out and watch Blade. Unless, you're not old enough, and then, well, you're gonna need, your grown-ups' permission. Oh man. What do we got? 11:27 my time. We've been streaming for almost an hour and a half. I'm gonna try and keep going for another half an hour. Can make it a 2-hour stream. If I feel like I can come back later and do a little bit more, I absolutely will. It's gonna be a very busy day though. Got my best friend, one of my best friends flying in from New York. He's gonna be staying with me and my family for the next couple days in honor of his, well, he is getting married in October. But today and for the next couple days, we're gonna be throwing him a sort of like bachelor party celebration. One of his longest friends, he's one of my best friends. He has helped me on so many projects. He lives in Seattle, so we're all going to be hanging out a lot, doing a lot of cool stuff for the next couple days. It's going to be great. It's good. Good to have that social activity. Although I am, me being fairly introverted, I kind of consider myself a part-time introvert, to be honest. Like, I could easily just be alone for a very long stretch of time, but of course I'm never really alone nowadays. I got that wild 4-year-old who's fortunately right now at daycare, so he's socializing, you know, he's getting to know other kids, doing his thing, learning the ropes, so to speak. Ooh, I'm trying not to burp. It's probably one of the hardest things about streaming is like, man, I don't want to like let off gas, but I might. And just like that, everybody unsubscribed. They're done. Nothing to see here. Show's over. Alright, so Edward Elric is almost done here. I might add a couple more things, and then I'm going to bring up his blade thing and get that in there. Can even rename it Blade. That was the joke, hence the joke I made earlier. Okay, a couple other things. Blade can have 1, 2. Or no, it doesn't need all of that. Okay, so in a sec, I'm gonna cut around here. Seems to be fine. Let's remove it for a second. Get it in the right spot. Welcome back, Mittens. Sorry I missed you before. I said hello to you back like 10 minutes ago, but I was worried you had already been here for like an hour and I didn't realize. How you been, my friend? Doing okay? Okay, so now we're gonna move the mask to a different part here because Ed's sleeve is still intact. All good? Cool, man. Do you have any projects you've been working on? Any Any summer plans? That kind of stuff. Alright. Fullmetal Alchemist is good. Only thing I need to do now is... this might be a little bit harder to do than before. I'm gonna see if my mesh warp technique works on Ed. It might not. Before I actually had to do something else with Ed, but we'll see if I'm successful here. All right. Let's see what we can do. I'm doing pretty good, Mittens. Just, you know, working on this project. I want this to be a pretty ambitious summer content-wise. We'll see. I got a lot of projects lined up that I'm really excited about sharing. But, you know, it's like one of those things where it's like, just gotta pace yourself. Don't overload. Don't go all out just yet. For projects, I've done very little work on Shellpunk Episode 3, but honestly, not really. No projects currently. Oh, okay. How come you've done very little work on your Shellpunk episode? Is it just busy with other things, kind of losing interest? I mean, it's a lot of work. Oh yeah, that worked out pretty good. Just add one other cool thing. Okay. Awesome, awesome. Shrinking Ed down. He's probably going to be smaller than everyone else. Don't get it mad at me, Ed. Should just make him gigantic just to... Godzilla, looking up at them. Whew. All right, my goal is to try and get Charizard going. I don't think I am going to be able to wrap this up for this session. But so far, pretty good stuff. Not bad. We're going to get Charizard going. Charizard is most certainly going to be either really challenging or super simple if I did all my research correctly. Just gonna remove a couple characters here. We'll leave Batman for now. Charizard does indeed have stop motion because his wings will be moving. And this was... I had to do this. There were many different takes involved for this one. Hey, finally stop motion. Who would have thought? So much anime music in my head right now. I'm not complaining. Just wondering what took it so long. This is also the time Charizard fell on my set. Oh, yep, see, he's starting to tip over. Oh, man. Might be able to get in just before he starts tipping. If you want to see him tip, here you go. Ah! No, Charizard! You can even see the putty here that tried in vain to keep him steady, but yeah. Oh, even then he begins to tip a lot. Mittens, I love Ultraman. Ultraman is the goat. I mean, that's what the kids are saying. That's what they're calling it these days, right? Okay, I gotta align this. Nice. I have. Ultraman Rising is amazing. I've been meaning to do a review of it, but honestly, it's just kind of like... I don't think a review... I could do any... I don't think I can do this film justice. I might still just make a review where I'm just talking about how much I like it and what the movie... you know, successfully managed to pull off, but yeah, we'll see. Have you seen it? If so, what'd you think? Oh, you haven't yet? Okay, good. I'm happy I didn't spoil anything. I think you'll love it, Mittens. It's an extremely good movie. Alright, Charizard seems to be good. Just need to get the wings, the flight in its own comp. Wings. Charizard, this is start. This layer will be called end. That way I know the pattern. And we're going to reverse this wing layer. That way we can simulate flight. And we just rinse, repeat. Take a good look here in just a sec when I'm done. Have you seen anything else Ultraman related before, Mittens? There's some really good Ultraman content out there. Good Ultraman shows. A lot of cool stuff. I gotta restart this. I messed up. I messed up. That looks a little better. Well, if you're interested in other Ultraman series, I would definitely recommend Ultraman Nexus, Ultraman Tiga, and Ultraman X. Those ones are really good. Return of Ultraman is also really good if you're interested in some of the more original projects. I know Ultraman, the Return of Ultraman is just from purely a filmmaking perspective, it's really good. Yeah, they're really good shows. I think you'll like them. They're very different from one another. Ultraman Tiga kind of varies from being pretty all ages. Sometimes it could feel like it's just for kids, but then it like really hits you with some really strong, mature themes. Ultraman X is just fun until it like begins to dabble with like cosmic eldritch horrors and the works. It's really good. Ultraman Nexus like is definitely more for mature audiences, at least initially, and then like you know, long story short, halfway through they kind of started rolling back a bit. That was due to ratings and they had to like change accordingly, but overall yeah, it's really good. I would like to bring this one back. I forgot to do something here. I thought, oh, this is a good tail effect. I can just use this. I am cutting out Charizard's flame because I can just add my own. I do what I want. I do what I want. And this is, I'm going to call it tail here. Oh, is that the reason why this messed up a lot? No, I made sure that would work. Okay. Man, hanging in there. Let's try and get Charizard's green screen taken care of. Once we do that, we can handle his tail as well. The tail I'm going to be animating. Earlier I talked about it. I even showed you how I think in a previous video how I was working on using the pen tools. I'm going to do that again if I remember everything correctly. There's a specific way I've worked out that has really good that achieves really good results. Obviously, it depends on whether Charizard will cooperate. Remember, those familiar with the show know that Charizard wasn't always cooperative. In fact, he always gave Ash a hard time. Hopefully, he is easier on yours truly. Wings. Oh, man. Sorry, Charizard. Jeez, that's so wrong of me. Alright, let's get the pen tool ready. Go over and get the puppet position. All right. Just the tail. Okay, we're gonna want to time things just right. Doing pretty good here. Now we're gonna also prep for everyone. This is turning out great. My gosh. I don't want to jinx anything, right? But, uh-oh. Did I just jinx everything? Save! Okay, it worked. Oh, man. Find a quick fire effect to add here, and then we're gonna call it good. Gotta go back to the previous project just to get that rendered so I don't forget. Hold that thought. Okay, I'm gonna see if everything works right here. Oh, I'm in the zone. I can't leave just yet. All right. Almost there. Charizard's like, nope. Fly out like that. I can't believe I made this. Oh my gosh. I'm really happy with how this is turning out. The problem now is to just make sure the fire tail tip sticks to everything, and that's going to be its own thing, but I think I'm pretty much done. Let's bring on that and this will be the last thing, and then we're wrapped up for today. Luckily, I have a system in place that makes this not impossible. Looks like it's gonna work just fine. Or not. So close, no matter how far. Oh, that's what happened. Okay. Wow. All right. Holy moly, I am. I'm almost. I don't know if I can keep going. Throw in the towel. I need some food. I kid. I'm not done. I could do this all day. In all seriousness, see, I can't even talk. In all seriousness, I think I am pretty good though. So, everybody, thank you so much for watching, for being with me for the past 2 hours. Looking forward to the next stream. And yeah, hope everyone has a good rest of their day. Take care.